Hi, and welcome to On the Table, where we are digging into the messiness of what it means to be human, where we're finding aliveness, the places we're asking if we're doing it right, and hopefully how to better understand ourselves and each other. So I am so stoked to have Vicky Vlachonis sitting across from me today, someone who has helped change the lives of the likes of Beyonce and Gwyneth Paltrow and Elton John and Katy Perry and Lady Gaga, among many others, famous and otherwise. And maybe she'll be changing our lives a little bit today too. No pressure. But first, I want to tell you a story. So earlier this year, I signed on to direct another series, and I could feel in my gut right away that it wasn't quite right, but my rational brain was giving me a list of reasons why I should take it, and as is so often the case, I decided to listen to my mind. It became quickly apparent that my gut feeling had not been unfounded, but I really wanted to make it work, so I tried to ignore it until a few months in, one day this acute back pain set in. And it was a back pain that I hadn't felt since the last time I'd been in a work situation that was pretty misaligned some years ago. And immediately I knew that it had nothing to do with me sitting on some weird chair on set that week. I knew that it was my body telling me that the situation wasn't right and that I needed to get out. And so this time, though I hadn't listened to my gut, I did listen to my body, and within a few days of extricating myself, the pain vanished and it hasn't returned. And I was astonished then, and I'm astonished now by how quickly and effectively it worked. And even as I say it out loud right now, there's a piece of me that's going like, am I crazy for believing this? But Vicky would say, no, not at all. I'm not at all crazy, that there is a profound connection between our emotions and our physical health, a connection that we can tune into and use to heal both our bodies and minds and thrive. Vicky is an osteopath, which is more of a European thing, we'll get into that, and a self-described pain investigator who has devoted her life to, thank you so much, holistic health and vitality. She's the author of the New York Times bestseller, The Body Doesn't Lie. It certainly does not. And she's founder of Saint Supply Living Elixir, which you see in front of us right here. It's a supercharged olive oil from her home country of Greece that is helping to optimize our bodies and spirits on all kinds of levels. We'll talk about that in a little while. She also has a fucking remarkable voice, and I wouldn't be surprised if that alone just like helps down-regulate your nervous system and make you feel a little bit better by the end of this hour. I'm your host, Serena Smith, still me. Behind the camera is my incredible crew and my husband and director Ian, and we are back where the original magic happened, coming to you live from Zinqué Restaurant in Venice, California. Hi.
Oh my God, hi.
Hi.
You're amazing.
Oh my God, that's a nice way to start. Thank you. You're amazing. Shall we do this?
Yes, we are, of course.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is my first shot ever.
This is your first shot of the Living Elixir, yes?
Yeah, that's right.
So we're gonna sip this slowly.
Okay.
This is a high phenolic organic olive oil, full of polyphenols, vitamin E, squalene, we'll talk all about it. But when you taste this, keep a little bit in your mouth.
Okay.
You'll feel a little peppery kick.
Okay.
That's a proof of the oleocanthal, the polyphenols, that stinginess.
Okay. It means it's working.
Oh yes. It means it has a lot of health benefits.
This is your shit.
So we're doing a 15 ml.
Okay. And I'm not chugging this.
You don't have to chug it. You can follow it with a little water, but feel that peppery kick. Take a moment.
Okay.
It's very precious.
Okay. How do you say cheers in Greek?
Yamas. Yamas.
Yamas.
Yamas.
Oh, I forgot.
Little bitterness, that's the antioxidants. Ooh.
That's amazing. I could pour that in my champagne. Wow. Oh, I love that. You really do get some like heat on the back of the throat.
That peppery kick is powerful.
Yeah. Is this the doctor's orders? You follow it up
First
with a sip
you
of
do
champagne?
your elixir, and then there's polyphenols in champagne.
Wow.
So we're full of antioxidants and polyphenols
We're off
today.
to the races. Oh, and I should say, Efaristopouli for being
Ευχαριστώ Παρακαλώ.
Παρακαλώ. When Ian and I were in Greece, I knew a sum total of like 6 words of Greek, and I used them everywhere. And this is a testament to the warmth of the Greek people. In no country in the world have I had as much goodwill coming toward me for my 6 words of broken Greek. Like, we'd be at a restaurant and servers would be like waving other servers over to the table and shit. So I'm very glad to be using it on you. And I want to know, because you were born and raised in Greece, went to school in London,
Studied as an osteopath.
Spent some time in Sydney. Now you've been in LA for many years. Can you tell me a little bit about the Greek way of living and how that worldview and culture maybe differs from some of these other cities and mass metropolises that you found yourself in?
Yeah. So being Greek and being raised, you know, the difference is also being raised from parents who, I must say, my mom, a yoga teacher, taught me meditation, prayer.
Lucky.
My grandma, she was a chef, so it's all about the love of food, the love of nature. My dad being a tennis coach, traveling the world. So we had these principles. And if we think of Hippocrates, father of medicine, in ancient Greeks, they had these 5 principles. Think of it as pillars.
Okay.
Food, movement, and I guess the love of food, the balance between our relationships with food and the people we hang out with, and the balance with our community. So this Mediterranean way of life is part of the joy and pleasure of food. Again, Hippocrates, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. Not only enjoying food, but understanding our relationship with food. We're not taught to eat in front of the TV and be alone. We're taught to share.
So it's not just what you're consuming, it's the manner in which you consume it.
The love of sharing, enjoying moments with food, understanding how food affects us, how movement affects us, and studying as an osteopath, I think for me, it was putting all this together. The love of food, movement, how you eat, how you feel, how you move, your thoughts, your environment, your home. Everything is part of this health and wellness way of longevity, feeling better.
It's all holistically
It's a holistic,
oriented.
integrative approach.
Yeah, and everything is connected.
Everything is connected. And as an osteopath, I like to call myself a pain investigator. The way you realized, okay, my body's talking to me now. Something needs to change. I say pain is good. Because pain awakens the truth. And even when I was writing the book, The Body Doesn't Lie, the 3-step program, reflect, release, and radiate. You reflected, what is causing pain in my life? What do I need to let go of to become my own pain investigator, to find my passion, my purpose, and feel happy? And then your pain slowly started to disappear. And
Not even slowly.
it just straight
It's
away.
like overnight. Yeah, it was crazy. It's fast. I knew it.
You're fast. You move fast. Your brain's fast.
But I think that's a tough part about this because I think we are not necessarily, like, even for somebody like me who grew up as a really serious dancer my whole life, still a serious dancer, I think I have a deep attunement to my body naturally. Even for somebody like me, when I decided to listen to that intuition and to that gut feeling and to say this back pain is not about something that's like physically oriented in the outside world, it's about something going on internally with me, there was still this piece of me that was like, it sounds nuts. You know what I mean? Like, even when I've talked to it, it's not nuts, but it can, if you don't understand the mechanism of connection, you know, sometimes when I explain it to people, I think, do people think I sound kooky?
No,
So-
I think no. You're ahead of the game.
Well, thanks. Can you explain what that connection is between our emotions and how that can show up in the form of physical ailment?
pain.
The issues in our tissues, as you say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I definitely think that sometimes physical pain is due to an underlying cause, an emotional issue that hasn't been resolved. So if we take a holistic approach and be like, okay, so we've all felt pain in our heart, pain in our shoulder. Now, what is my body trying to teach me? Okay, maybe I haven't worked out, I'm not in my, I don't have my rituals of resilience, I've kind of stepped out of my everyday routine of taking care of my body, and now I have to go back and strengthen my body. Or some people might have a car accident and wake up and want to change something. Some people will start by saying, wait, this pain in the neck could be due to the fact that I'm clenching my jaw, I need to get a night guard, I'm stressed. So now this stress is building up, and I'm not listening, I'm avoiding it, I'm hiding it under the carpet. I'm either eating my emotions, drinking them, I'm not listening to what my body's trying to teach me. And again, you might have neck pain and just need to go to the doctor and check your vitamin D, and you might have neck pain because there's a thyroid issue, or you're low in your supplements, or you might have the low back pain, and there's another reason, maybe musculoskeletally now. I'm going through not listening and respecting my body. So it's, am I listening to my body? Am I respecting my body? And now pain is there to give me a signal. So some people might not go to the doctor. Some people might talk to a therapist. But if we can first detect what's happening, be aware and reflect, we will empower ourselves, find the strength to deal with the truth. And so our emotions live in our nervous system, the autonomic nervous system running up and down. And we have something called the fight or flight. And some people get burnout, some people faint, some people freeze. Their body's trying to teach them. They can't live in this sympathetic nervous system. They need to calm down their sympathetic nervous system.
When somebody moves into a fight, a flight, a freeze, a fawn response, that is our body's attempt to essentially keep us safe. It's trying to protect us.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So we need to rest, we need to digest, we could start meditating, doing visualization meditation. We could start being aware of, now I need to investigate deeper. When I am going back to being a dancer, reminds me when I worked at the Royal Ballet School Musical Theatre, Lion King and Cats in London, there was a moment, and this is a good example. I had this ballerina, beautiful ballerina. She fell off and sprained her ankle. I'm there, taking care of her ankle. I'm working through the part of the foot that's connected to her ovaries. She's taking a lot of sodas and ibuprofens and hurting. And I'm there holding onto her ankle. She breaks out in tears and I'm like, wait, this part of your body is linked to your ovaries. What is your body trying to teach you? She's like, oh my God, I haven't had my period for 4 months. I'm not taking care of myself. I'm not respecting my body. And now the pain there is to discover the truth. She was in an unhappy relationship. She hadn't been to the gynecologist. She was not nurturing herself with the right food. And therefore, it's a moment to take a step back and say, you know what? I'm hurting, but this doesn't work for me anymore.
Oof. Okay, so I mean, there's a lot to unpack there. I mean, I think for one, there is a very broad spectrum of the extent to which people are in tune with and aware of their bodies and their own aches and pains, and even the more positive physical sensations. You know, like Ian and I joke that there's a massive delta between my orientation toward my body and his orientation toward his. I'm a highly sensitive person. I grew up as a dancer. I feel and am aware of everything that's going on, right? He's like, I don't feel even 10. I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, he's doing the work.
You're like, my body's telling us we're not going out tonight. My gut is telling me.
No, my body is always telling us we're going out tonight, and his body is telling us
let's go to bed.
Yeah. That is where
it's you're like the yin and yang. You balance each other.
But if you're somebody who isn't as naturally attuned, what are the steps to even begin to start to listen and like cultivate an ear for hearing your body?
Well, I would say, if it's an acute injury, that's
You're
okay.
gonna be aware.
You're
Yeah.
aware.
Yeah.
Now, if the pain starts 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and it starts becoming chronic, you need to ask for help. You need to reach out. And again, look at the pillars: physical, emotional, spiritual well-being. And I always say that's that triad of healing. So going back to, how am I eating? Am I nurturing myself? I mean, the Mediterranean way of life, and the reason people have studied the diet and realized that all these anti-inflammatory foods, the reason people live longer is because of the fruit and the vegetables and the legumes. We don't eat that much red meat. Yes, we love our proteins, but we like our beans and our legumes. So if we nurture ourselves with foods that are anti-inflammatory, for example, hence the polyphenols, antioxidants in olive oil.
You have to explain what polyphenols are.
Yes. So when we first, we spent a couple of years, so Saint Supply, a couple of years before finding the living elixir, we were testing different olive oils, different types. There's different categories, and we created a new category, which is high phenolic and organic. So polyphenols, poly is another Greek word, means a lot. Phenols are plant-based phytonutrients.
We're getting a good language lesson today. It's fun. Now I'm going to know like 12 words of Greek by the end of this.
And there are polyphenols in champagne, there are polyphenols in berries, in chocolate, in coffee. But we looked at these specific polyphenols: oleocanthal, hydroxytyrosol, oleacin, and a few others, which if you go on saintsupply.com, you'll see all the human studies. We literally found this amazing oil from the juice of this organic, precious olive, which live in ancient Olympia in Greece, in a very high altitude. So these olives are preemies, they're unripe, they're green.
Okay.
Like even if you bite that olive, your lips will start feeling that peppery kick, which is the proof that these polyphenols that have studied, Harvard and Yale every week is doing another study. And as I said, if you go on our website, you'll see dozens and dozens of studies on how it works on all body parts,
Okay.
from head to toe. And for me, years and years traveling, realizing people need to get rid of their constipation, talking about the gut microbiome. People need to naturally find one thing that can lower their cholesterol, increase the healthy cholesterol. A shot of olive oil with this oleocanthal is anti-inflammatory, has anti-cancerous properties. So we're like, wow, this tastes delicious.
It does taste delicious.
It gets rid of your constipation.
Sick.
It helps with inflammation. So for me, when I, again, as a holistic approach, this is a way of life.
Yeah.
For me, I wake up every morning, I do my water with lemon, I take my shot of olive oil, I brew my coffee. So I believe in fasting, and then I'll have my breakfast after I work out or after I play tennis. So we created a ritual,
Yeah.
which is what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
A ritual to do something every day that helps you get into a step into wellness. What am I doing every day to take care of my body?
Oof. I mean, I think that is sort of the key question, right? For a lot of people to ask themselves, what am I doing to take care of my body? We live in a society, especially in the US, that is so primed for stress. The expectation is to always be on. You've got this onslaught of notifications coming at you. And for many of us, we don't have the luxury of being able to necessarily organize our life around wellness. Oftentimes our life is organized around work and our obligations. So I think it's like, I joke that after I burnt out a few years ago, after a lifetime of being both a workaholic and a funaholic and just like burning the candle at both ends, and like it really like I hit a wall. I pulled way back on work and recalibrated my whole life and dug really deep into these rituals and even made a list for myself. Like, here are the non-negotiables that I need every single day. I need to meditate. I need a gratitude practice. I need to go take a walk in the sunshine, you know. I need a lot of sex. There are a lot of things. Affection, dancing.
Love, touching, laughing.
Community,
joy.
friendship, right? But like, also at a certain point I was like, fuck, I really got to start working again at like a different kind of level. Like I can't sustain this forever either. It's really nice. But my friends and I joke sometimes that like when you get through your self-care practices, like the day's over. You're like, oh, I got 45 minutes to work and then, you know, it's time for dinner. So I think the question is like, if people are asking, what am I doing to nurture my body? What am I doing to support my body? And right now, let's say the answer is very little, nothing. Where do we start? What are like the low lift places to start to develop those rituals that you speak of, right? Because people probably aren't going to go from having nothing to having 10.
Yeah,
right?
I think
Where would you begin?
It can be simple, you know. You can go every day, do something, change something with the food, if it's hurting your body, obviously. Movement, you can walk your dog, you could be out in nature. I mean, you could go for a hike.
Go for a hike? Yeah.
You can walk.
Yeah. Right.
You know, you could sit outside and meditate. You don't have to go up to the mountain. You can meditate in your home.
Yeah.
For a few minutes. Just even being mindful of, I'm going to take a moment. You know, we wake up, I have to drop my kids to school and I'm stressed, but
checking the phone
yeah.
immediately.
No, I charge my phone in the bathroom, and so I don't want it next to me in the bed.
Smart.
It's my alarm, so I know it's going to, you know, I mean, I probably wake up before the alarm anyway. I like to wake up before the kids. I do the 5 Tibetan poses. So in The Body Doesn't Lie, I have a whole routine. But every day, if you could do your 10,000 steps, if you could have some water with lemon, try a shot of olive oil, something that's going to help relax and calm down your nervous system, reduce inflammation. You could do a yoga class. You could join a yoga class or start doing some poses. The 5 Tibetan poses I do are very simple. I do them on the kitchen floor, in the living room, everywhere I go. I can travel.
Here?
Maybe, kind of, some of them. But every day I have to do something because it's like, it's that voice, you know, you wake up and you're stressed and I'm like, okay, if I play tennis, I'm a better mother. If I do my yoga poses and take my shot of olive oil, I know I'm preventing disease or dis-ease or discomfort. So I think if we can take a step back and kind of look at my holistic approach, how we eat, you know, if you're eating a beautiful salad with a piece of salmon, you've got your protein, or you have your 2 boiled eggs and some beautiful spinach and some Greek goats and feta cheese, and you're pouring your olive oil on top, there you are. You've got your polyphenols, you've got your antioxidants, you're going to feel better. If you move your body, you're going to feel better. If you meditate, pray, or you can sit down and write a journal. Be grateful. I tell people, you know, you're holding on to anger. You're not shedding this pain. You're holding on to this emotional pain. And it's hard for people to connect the dots. But even if they could take one thing from today, I mean, I want everybody taking a shot of high phenolic organic oil, but even if they could do something every day where before they get out of bed in the morning, they're like, you know what? I'm grateful. I know today's going to be a better day. Or dry brush in front of the mirror, another ritual that my mum taught me since a very young age.
Okay, talk about the importance of that.
So standing in front of the mirror, because I think sometimes when we look in the mirror, and I used to when I was younger,
You just pick it apart. You know?
Say something negative, and no. My mom
Yeah.
would be like, your beautiful, strong muscles are going to help you win the race. So let's dry brush together. We would dry brush in front of the mirror. We'd write little Post-its saying, thank you, body. Thank you, God. I'm going to try my best today and I'm going to be stronger. Every day, by moving my body, by dry brushing and really causing that lymphatic drainage. You know, our skin is the largest cleansing organ. And just dry brushing, it just doesn't take much. You're causing a lymphatic drainage, you're moving that energy, you're already looking in the mirror and saying something positive.
And it makes a meaningful difference. Doing that while looking in the mirror, saying some positive affirmations to yourself.
And being humble, in a humble way. It's okay to say, oh, wow, I mean, you're so beautiful. Like, okay, I'm not telling you to look in the mirror every day and say, wow, my eyes are I'm stunning, I'm beautiful. Thank you, God, for these beautiful eyes. But, you know,
Now you shouldn't do that?
You can.
That's nice.
But just being kind, self-love, self-care.
Yeah. I think there's something very important about just speaking to yourself with kindness, you know, and recognizing that even if you're somebody who, oh my God, and like how incredible for you if you don't have a loud inner critic, even if you don't have a loud inner critic, we don't, as humans, tend to really talk to ourselves with the kindness and goodwill that we would other people that we love. Yeah. And if you start to do that, it really does shift things, and it makes you just so aware of like, oh my, how was I talking to myself prior? You know, talk to yourself like a friend. You know,
and be kind, and that love that you talked about, love for your home, for your friends. The Mediterranean way is. I mean, I was in Greece a few weeks ago, and it's like our neighbor, she'd come over and she said, I have these beautiful fresh figs, and my husband went fishing. Why don't you guys come over tonight? What are you doing? Yeah. You know, let's enjoy the joy, the pleasure. And then all of a sudden, we put some music on, we start dancing, you know. And we're there till 3 a.m. Yeah. And then we're like, let's go for a swim. I mean, obviously we're on holiday and enjoying those moments. Yeah. And they're like, we need breaks. So when we work so hard and we're like, and I work hard. You know, I've been doing this for 20 years. Yeah. I've been in health and wellness, taking care, helping people connect the dots between their emotional pain, physical pain, and also the spiritual well-being. Having a practice, whatever you believe in, where you honor your ancestors, you're grateful for your parents, even if it's been tough. Not holding, you know, I spent the weekend with a friend and I was like, you've got a lot of anger. Are you aware? How were you, I mean, I know it's your expertise, but how were you able to assess that? You know, he was like pushing the chairs and angry and doing these movements, and I was like, is everything okay? What's happening? Let's talk about this. You're picking up on people's energy. Yeah, and I had a meeting 2 days ago with a friend, and I was like, whoa, you've let go, you're ready to open your heart. It's also being aware of your space. Okay. Your environment, your home, and your body, and your soul. What are your spiritual practices? So I'm Greek Orthodox. I do pray. I don't go to the church very often. But I do pray with my kids in Greek. I call my mom, we pray together, we pray for our friends. We even pray for those people that hurt us. And sometimes it's a way of just letting go. Another way of letting go. Or even the forgiveness letter we were talking about. Can you talk about how, because I think so often we think about the concept of forgiveness as for the other person. I'm forgiving you for whatever it is it feels like you've done to me. But really, forgiveness is what you're allowing to release for yourself. Are there certain emotions like anger, like melancholy, like a lack of forgiveness? Melancholia, another Greek word, yeah. Do you find that they tend to pop up in certain areas of the body? Certain emotions are corresponded with certain areas? Yes. Tell me. Definitely. So different parts of the body, different organs. We call it liver energy sometimes, where you've got stagnant, angry energy and you're feeding your emotions all this spicy food and you're not even aware that you could be angry, and internally you've got all this anger, fear, melancholy, your body's trying to give you the signals that something's not right. And it's going back to what you said about forgiving ourselves. Now, the Greek word forgiveness means synchoro. Syn is I add space. So I need to let go of this anger to bring in the love. And we go back to the thing we said in the beginning about the 5 principles of Hippocrates of self-healing. Food, movement, our environment, our home, our thoughts, our people, our community, respecting our body, respecting others, and nature. So I get people to write a forgiveness letter when they're angry. I'm like, okay, you might have some right shoulder pain or the right side of your body connected to this whole liver meridian. Something is blocked. Your body, you keep coming back and complaining of all this physical pain. So let's look deeper. What is really happening? You're either angry with yourself or you haven't forgiven the person that hurt you. And you could write a forgiveness letter, because really, who's judging? And you talk about my mess. Who's really judging here, Are we judging ourselves?
It seems that is primarily the direction that it's going in, yeah.
But I get people to write a forgiveness letter, and it could be, Dear Anger. And kind of find that narrative, that story. It started when I was 6 years old. Mum, this is what happened, and Dad wasn't present, and the anger started in that moment, and I'm ready to let go. I'm ready to forgive that moment, to forgive myself, forgive my body for holding that space, and now I'm ready to release it. I'm not going to hold on to it. I'm going to release it, transcend it, send it back. It doesn't belong to me. That is not mine. I can't hold on to it anymore.
That's a big part of this too, though, because I think people, myself included, often can get sort of addicted to their pain. It becomes part of their identity, especially if there's like some prior trauma, especially if it's like a big T trauma, And for me, the pathway was, I did like a pretty intense psychedelic sound meditation, and a lot of that stuff got broken open, and some of the stories that I'd been telling myself, I was able to see via a different lens. But I remember saying to myself, Serena, are you ready to let go of the version of yourself who's been harmed? Are you ready to let go of the piece of your identity that is like tethered to this? Because it can also inform other things that have potentially been positive, right? A deeper sense of empathy or whatever, right? So I think that component of it is really interesting also. Like, have you, with your patients, run into people where you go, okay, we've assessed where the pain is coming from. We've done the physical work. We've found some, emotional barrier there, or some emotional link. And then you still find that they're reticent to let it go.
You mean they're still holding on? There's layers of healing.
Yeah, they're holding on.
Physical, emotional, spiritual. There's a lot of layers that we need to shed.
Yeah. How do you deal with that reticence? Like if somebody goes, okay, I know, like the X variables have been filled in. It's not a mystery to me anymore. I know what the connection is.
Well, you've identified it. You've
identified
reflected
it.
what's causing pain.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now we're at the release step.
You found a practice that every day you don't allow that memory to come back. You've done a lot of the forgiveness. You're strengthening your body. You've changed your diet. It's a holistic approach. I mean, this Mediterranean way of life is, yes, anti-inflammatory foods with health benefits that will help relax your nervous system, your bowel, work on all body parts, improve your blood pressure, calm you down. give me an example. Take me to a moment where, is it so you've dug deep, the person's released their anger, or they're still holding on? Are they even aware?
No, they're aware.
They're aware they're holding on to it.
Let's say they've gotten to the awareness point, right? But then they're not ready to let it go.
They're not ready. Yeah, I mean, we need time. Everybody heals. Healing is a journey. It's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
You've got to talk about it. You've got to release it through words, through journaling, and then releasing it from your body. Is it stuck in your tissues? Is there an area of your body that has a memory? So could it be your low back pain?
Yeah.
You know, if there was, for example, a sexual trauma and the nerve and blood supply to our ovaries could be reminding you that, yes, there was the trauma's there. Could there have been a surgery where, you know, an organ has been removed? Could there have been a car accident? So it's good to connect the dots, to do the work, obviously, with a doctor, psychologist, psychiatrist, if you need to do the talk therapy. But first, you have to remember, as we believe in the psychosomatico, the soul and the body. They're together. They're not separate. So it's kind of like becoming a pain investigator, acknowledging first, to acknowledge and accept, and then give permission to your body to heal when it's ready.
Giving it permission. Yeah.
Does that make sense? Because you're a ballerina. You were a dancer. You were. Then you had the burnout, but you listened to your body.
But it's still hard, you know. I think it's all well and good when you're in a state of relatively low stress, and then like the last several weeks have been super high stress for me. Like I had a bunch of clients that landed on top of each other, and I had to stay so vigilant about maintaining my practices because I could just feel the tether
They were pulling
eroding.
you apart.
Yeah, and I was like, if I don't stay hyper aware of what I'm doing and how I am remaining connected to my body and what I'm doing to support my body, like I'm gonna lose it. And even still, then like there were a number of things that fell by the wayside, and I was not as good of a partner to Ian. Sorry. And it's hard when the stress gets activated. It gets really hard. You are running a business of your own. You are a startup founder. That is intensely stressful. When things get super chaotic for you, what do you do? And you're not on vacation. You're not on holiday in Greece,
of course.
right?
Yeah.
And the kids need something, and there's a million meetings, and people are pulling you in all the directions. How do you maintain that tether to the rituals?
The rituals of resilience. Because as
keep you
we all
good.
fall down,
Yeah.
get up again and fight.
And finish
We're
it.
fighters. We're warriors. I have great people that lift me up as well, good friends. Talk on the phone to my mom, my brother, my dad every day, my partner. But what I do is, you know, I know that if I have these rituals, I'll be stronger. I'll make better decisions. So I might do my yoga, I might play tennis. I need to do 1 hour. I need to sweat. I need to do 1 hour, either go for a walk with the dog, maybe an hour and a half, play tennis for an hour. I have to move my body.
Yeah.
So, you know, obviously
Non-negotiable.
non-negotiable. Or I will do an Epsom salt bath. I believe in taking naps, and people live longer in the blue zones in the Mediterranean because we take naps as well. I do nap, and sometimes I say to my kids, I need to go to my room, do a 12-minute meditation. I combine it with prayer. I close my eyes, I lie on the bed, I might fall asleep, or I'll take an Epsom salt bath, put some salts in there and be like, okay, Vicky, there's a lot, I'm overwhelmed, I'm stressed, I don't want this to build up. Let me just connect my mind and body, do a visualization meditation, close my eyes and think I'm on holiday in Greece and I'm swimming in the ocean and my mom's cooking all this beautiful food and I feel all the love. So I try to find a positive to bring me back, because I'm like, okay, sometimes we wake up, we're stressed, we come from a place of fear. So I'm like, okay, I've got to change my mindset. What's going to help me stay and keep those rituals of resilience. So I'll always do something for my body every day.
Move it, and it's helping to move you out of the fear state.
Yeah, from a fear, come from a place of positivity, that mindset where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah, this too shall pass.
Well, if you could meditate, if you could do an Epsom salt bath in the water with the salts to relax, with the magnesium in there, you'll feel more relaxed.
Yeah, what are the Epsom salts doing for our bodies?
Well, relaxing our nervous system. I think it's also, being Greek again. It's because I am Greek. We're born in water. We need water, but we swim a lot. And I believe in thalassotherapy. I believe in swimming. I believe in cleansing in water. So it's different ways of looking at. Yes, the salts, the magnesium, sulfates are going to relax my body and calm my muscles. But the water is so healing.
Yeah.
So I spend time in water a lot. I love to swim.
You do a lot.
One thing every day.
Just one thing
every day. I know, it sounds
day.
like I'm playing tennis and swimming and sunbathing.
I'm like, I want that. That sounds nice.
No, every
it's
day
about
one
priorities.
thing.
Yeah.
So, but some days if I want to go for dinner with a friend, I'm like, you know what? Let's go for a hike. Let's walk and talk. Let's do an hour and a half hike. We're both going to feel better. We haven't worked out today, so I might walk in the evening. I'll cancel a dinner and say, you know what? Let's walk and talk, and let's go up into the mountain, be close to nature, release, talk about our feelings, let go of our anger, do a meditation. And another night we'll go for a beautiful dinner and enjoy a glass of champagne, So I'm always kind of like connecting with my body. Have I moved my body? Have I taken my shot of olive oil?
So often healers become healers because there's something in themselves that they're trying to heal. Was that the case for you?
I mean, I've gone through pain in life. Losing my grandmother was a big, obviously death. That was a moment where, although I still feel she's close to me, I always think of the positive memories, I mean, I'm very blessed. I have a great family, great friends. I talk to my friends, I spend time with them. But the people I want in my life, the people I don't want, or the places that are toxic, or the people that are toxic, I've really, really said less is more.
Yeah.
I am blessed to have amazing patients who are women who've always uplifted me. I'm there to take care of you, but it's an exchange of energy. It's in giving that you're receiving. And this Greek word philotimo, philanthropy. Philotimo is actually philos is friend. Timo is I honor my friend.
So lovely.
But it's this, no matter, even through pain, I've felt the pain, I've shared the pain, I've talked about the pain, I've cried it out, I've released it to be able to be more radiant, to feel stronger, to be like, okay, I reach out, I ask for help, I talk.
Yeah, and you're willing to just be
vulnerable
in it.
Open and broken and talk about it.
And not fight it and not avoid it. It's really hard.
Very hard.
When you are in a position where I don't think you're really seeing patients so much anymore, right? But for so much of your life you were, kind of similar to a therapist, right? You're dealing with people who are in pain. Did you ever feel like you were then taking that pain on as your own?
There are days where I have to say, I'll stay in bed like a Sunday, or it might be my day off, might be a Monday or a Tuesday. I'll take one day off where I will do nothing. Oh yes.
Nothing.
Doctor's prescription. Do nothing. Rest.
Yeah.
One day a week.
Yeah.
Where I'll have my tea, my mountain tea from Greece. I will call my friends. I'll stay in bed, watch movies, laugh, cry, fall asleep on the couch with my children. Where yes, I won't play tennis, or I won't go for a hike, or I allow myself. Because I have to empty what I've been, you have to empty yourself, you have to sacrifice things. So I have to give back. I have to, again, respect myself first, be strong, to be a stronger mother and stronger from the people that I take care of.
Yeah.
I have to follow all these rites, these rituals of resilience. I have to practice.
What you preach?
Yeah.
Do you ever not?
No, I don't think so.
No. It's good to hear. You're really walking the walk. When you moved from functioning primarily as an osteopath to then
The startup.
founding a startup, super intense, what learnings most surprised you?
I mean, again, I'm so blessed because I have an amazing team. So I teamed up with a gastroenterologist, Dr. Fola May from UCLA. She's a badass boss. Research, cancer prevention. I have Nancy Jaffe, registered dietitian, state of the art. These women are just phenomenal. All part of the digestive diseases division at UCLA. An amazing Dr. Eric Israelian. So I work with a team of experts. So I teamed up with these women, and when we found the elixir, when we found the oil and tasted it, they were like, we need data. I want to know the human studies, how and why it's helping reduce cognitive decline. Why is it improving memory? What is the data? What are these polyphenols? So I started, all these years saying, wow, I want to find this precious olive, juice it within 3 hours of picking these olives. So I've learned so much about respecting food, going back to my roots, the Mediterranean way of life. But, after 20 years of holistic vitality, I realized this is the culmination of my vision to deliver something that's backed by science and clinically proven. There's data now. It reduces cardiovascular disease. These polyphenols, these unique polyphenols, are improving the gut microbiota, are improving our skin, the squalene, the vitamin E. So the startup started helping me go dig deeper into the studies, the human studies. So that got me more excited. Blessed to have Beyonce who backed us, and blessed to have all these. Now we have cardiologists who want to jump on board, orthopedic surgeons, plastic surgeons. If we can change food as a prescription, because for me, I work with a team of experts. Gastroenterologists, OBGYNs, endocrinologists.
And do you see that shifting? Do you see that shifting where like Western medicine and more of the allopathic model is saying, okay, we actually we want to bring this into what we're prescribing our patients for their recovery or to deal with, their
rest.
high cholesterol.
And when you want to, if somebody's anxious, you want to help them rest, digest. The nervous system. So I think I've learned, so I'm still learning, I'm still evolving. It's hard. It's hard to, to be out there. But again, I know I have something that I want to share with the world that's going to help them feel better.
Do you think about where you're headed, where you want to be headed? Or do you just take it day by day?
So it's interesting because I love to think, I'm a manifester. I like to kind of initiate, invite, and I have many dreams. Good question.
Do you want to share them all live on air?
No.
You want to give us one?
First, our health. I think the most important thing is our health.
Health is wealth.
Not ignoring our pain.
Yeah.
Pain is our most powerful tool.
Yeah.
Pain awakens the truth.
Yeah.
Physical pain or emotional pain. It's very interesting. You made me thinking now.
Yeah.
You did.
I want to.
You want to know more.
Yeah, I want to know what's going on inside. I want to know. I want to know if your orientation is toward thinking about what you want or just sort of existing in a state of, when you're doing it right at least, a state of gratitude and sort of letting the path appear before you, you know?
Yeah, I believe, good question. I believe you do the right thing, you find your passion, your purpose, and then you radiate. You give to others and you teach others, which again goes back to this way of giving, learning. I think my startup is also helping prevent disease. You know, we're here to prevent disease.
Right, not just treat it when it pops up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be more studies. I want to see more studies on human studies for food.
Yes.
I want more doctors to listen, to find more time to listen to the patient's pain.
Yeah.
More dietitians around. You know, I love working with the registered dietitian. Again, it's connecting the dots with everything, you know?
Yeah. That's the thing. You know, in every single episode that I've done of this show, it keeps coming up time and again. And like, nothing is existing in a vacuum. You know? Everything is connected to everything else. And I think sometimes we want an easy answer and we want to say, oh, this thing is it's just this thing. But
I'm a believer we're exactly where we're meant to be. And maybe sometimes God uses me as a vessel to be in somebody's home or space to help them heal their pain or at least uncover the truth about their pain and prevent disease.
Yeah.
But again, I believe in putting teams, wellness teams together to help prevent disease.
When you're working with somebody like a Gwyneth Paltrow or a Beyonce or an Elton John, people who by all means have very glamorous lives, but also are functioning at such a high levels of stress often, especially if they're on tour or something, right?
It's tough.
Did you find that like what you were finding at the root of their pain, was it in the end kind of the same as what you might be assessing in somebody who's not living at that level?
I think if you work hard, you're disciplined, you're dedicated. Obviously they have amazing talents, but it's tough. It's tough to be up at the top. It's tough. You have to have these rituals of resilience. You have to have this community of people that can take care of you. But first and foremost, I think all the people you mentioned are disciplined, dedicated. They respect their body. They take care of others. They respect nature, and I think it's this whole way of life.
Yeah, it's we were talking about sort of just like how stress oriented our society is. If you had your druthers, how would you redesign our culture for it to be more readily wellness oriented, for it to be in support of our holistic health?
It'd be nice to start from the schools, I think.
Right.
Because I think the hardest
Education
job
at a
is
young age.
teachers have a very difficult job.
Yeah.
If in schools there, for example, there was more a connection between the food, they were educated to meditate more or pray or find moments to and to create this balance.
Yeah.
And have boundaries with food and understanding of how they can nurture themselves or find a place to talk to somebody, and more peace, more love. And if there was a education, I think if we could start from the schools, and then obviously I would love every doctor to recommend food as medicine, or to even understand or help the patient connect the dots. Yeah. So I guess we need more dietitians. We need more time at school where children can learn. I know from my kids, if they go to a party or they have lots of friends sleep over and they're not eating well, their immune system,
Yeah.
The fevers kick in, too much sugar, they don't sleep well. So it's like everything is all about those 5 principles we talked about. Hippocrates, the father of medicine. Let food be thy medicine, medicine be thy food. Number 1, movement, thoughts, environment, our home, and lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
And the rituals.
Yeah.
I think if home and lifestyle is one, because you got to be happy at home. You have to love your bed. You have to love who you sleep with.
You better. If you don't, that'll really fuck you up. My God. Okay, we want to play a little game.
We run out of time. Oh.
Yeah, already. Can you believe it? Play a little game called Am I Doing It Right? It's kind of the conceit of the show. Something that you're actively working on right now.
Building Saint Supply.
Okay.
There's more coming there, so it's a difficult one.
We're not getting the scoop today, but maybe next time. Something that you're bad at and you've totally made peace with it. You're fine with being bad at it.
Ooh, what am I bad at? I'm messy. Sometimes I like to come home and throw my clothes. So I'm started to kind of organize my clothes more, and yeah, I love being messy.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm okay with it.
Okay. Is there any like healthy practice that you engage in that you actually kind of hate, but you do it because you know it's good for you?
No. Sorry.
I had a feeling you were gonna say
Sorry.
What is something that you love about yourself without reservation?
Giving to others.
It's nice. It always comes back. What age are you in your head?
I think I'm 36 or 28.
But that's a big difference, actually.
No, some days I think, yeah, because you have to talk to your body and say kind things. Those words matter. But my youngest son, Constantine's like, you're like 21, Mom.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because I'm like, okay, you guys are on the trampoline. Let me jump on the trampoline.
We get older, but internally we're the same
Yeah,
age. And I think
I'm
there is
very
something to be
playful,
said
yes.
for maintaining that playfulness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who says?
Yeah.
You
So
know?
I'm 28. Okay.
28. Okay. 28. The prefrontal cortex is fully baked at that point, but we're still very young. I think I'm 33 in my head, or 34. Older than you, I guess.
Yes.
Something that you long believed to be true and realized wasn't.
My mum writes poetry, and she used to write, love gives and forgives, and stubbornness is a narrow path. So just no more me, just stepping out of your ego and being more humble, more grateful. And so in my mind, I always have love gives and forgives.
Lovely. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
What a pleasure. Thanks to my guest, Vicky Vlachonis. Go check out her olive oil. It tastes fucking delicious at saintsupply.com. Her book is The Body Doesn't Lie. There are many more things coming our way from her. We'll have to have her back to find out what they are. Thanks to my crew. Thanks to you for watching. Thanks to Zinqué. Thank you to that coffee grinder. Wow, it keeps us alive, you know? And if nothing else, go develop some rituals of resilience. And if nothing else, drink your olive oil. We'll see you next time.